Thank you for watching Chronicles of Mysterious Tales. They say the ancient spirits are not gone, just quiet. They walk among us still, hidden in plain sight. Their stories are woven into the fabric of our modern world. He lurks in the leaves. The Green Man's story begins here, in the space between an old myth and a new day. The Green Man is the spirit of the green world, a face of leaves, bark, a promise that life will always return. You might glimpse him in an ancient, gnarled oak, its branches reaching like tired arms towards the sky. Then, in an instant, you might feel his presence on a busy city street, a small, defiant flicker of green amidst the gray. It is carved into the cold stone of forgotten churches, a silent guardian watching centuries unfold. Our journey to meet him begins in a small, secluded wood, a pocket of wilderness forgotten by the nearby town. The trees here are ancient storytellers, their bark thick and deeply grooved with the passage of time. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy above, dappling the forest floor in shifting patterns of emerald and gold, making the air itself seem green and alive. A soft, springy carpet of moss covers the ground, muffling every footstep and smelling of damp earth and rain. The delicate, intricate songs of hidden birds, the gentle murmur of a small stream as it tumbles over smooth, moss-covered stones, whispering secrets to the listening ferns. Here, in the heart of this quiet sanctuary, the Green Man first appears. He is not separate from the wood. He is the wood. His face emerges from the trunk of a great oak, a visage crafted from the very essence of the forest. His beard is a cascade of tangled ivy, glistening with morning dew. His hair is a wild nest of delicate ferns, new spring leaves, a crown of living green. His eyes, deep and dark like forest pools, hold a profound and ancient kindness, a gentle wisdom that has seen seasons turn for 1,000 years. When the breeze stirs the branches, the leaves of his face tremble, and it seems as if he is breathing a slow, contented sigh. He sits on a moss-covered log, a fallen giant giving its life back to the soil. His twig-like fingers trace the intricate patterns in the decaying bark. He listens not for any single sound, but to the entire symphony of the wood. Long before the town nearby laid its first street, people knew of him. They felt his presence in deep woods and fertile fields. They sought to honor his spirit. In ages past, stonemasons carved his likeness into the sacred spaces of their world. They placed his leafy face high on cathedrals and churches, nestled among saints and angels, a wild green spirit looking down from hallowed stone. They chiseled him above doorways and on the capitals of great stone columns, his face sprouting vines and leaves. He became a bridge between structured faith and untamed nature, more than decoration, a prayer made of stone. They lived tied to the land and its cycles, hoping for green shoots after harsh winters, for safety from blight and flood, for the bounty to fill their granaries. Now those old stones are weathered, edges softened by centuries of wind and rain. Many faces blend back into the rock, but he is still there, a link to a past dependence on the earth, a leafy heart beating within cold stone, waiting for people to look up and remember. Remember the old connections. Remember the enduring power of the green. He is a story waiting to be reread, a promise whispered in the rustle of leaves. One morning at the break of dawn, the Green Man stood at the very edge of his woodland home, where the last trees gave way to a manicured lawn. He drew in a slow breath as he gazed at the damp earth, the smell of baking bread, the metallic tang of morning traffic, the acrid scent of smoke. It was a world of straight lines and hard surfaces, glass facades, stone buildings, a tangled web of overhead wires. Cars, like shiny, colorful beetles, moved in neat lines along ribbons of black asphalt. People filled the streets, faces lit by bright boxes, clutching steaming cups, shoulders hunched against a chill he did not feel. They seemed to exist in small bubbles, eyes down, ears plugged with tiny white buds. He stepped forward. Moss and root feet made thumping sounds. With each step, a faint green light bloomed and faded. Most did not see. Their eyes were not looking for such things. But one person did. A young child, Leah, sat on a low brick wall feeding pigeons. Short dark hair in her eyes, a bright red scarf around her neck. A flicker of green caught her eye. She looked up. Their gazes met, curious, unafraid. He let the leaves around his mouth curve into a gentle, rustling smile, and Leah smiled back. In that shared, silent moment, a connection was made.
Are you a tree man?
The Green Man inclined his head, and a few tiny leaves drifted down.
I am a friend of green. I walk where life wishes to grow. I watch, and sometimes I help.
Without a second thought, she offered a piece of bread. He did not take it. Instead, he touched the bread with a moss-soft finger, turning it into seeds.
Take them. Plant them in a place that feels a little sad.
He smiled and walked away, dissolving into shifting light. Leah clutched the seeds, ran home, and planted them in a cereal bowl. Within days, tiny, vibrant sprouts pushed upward towards the light. They were growing with unbelievable strength and hope. Leah's sprouts were just the beginning. The green man's quiet help rippled through the town. A man named Tom found a single perfect ivy vine curled around his steaming mug. He dreamed of being younger, walking barefoot through a vast, cool meadow, and woke lighter, laughing for the first time in years. "Keep a little green," a voice seemed to whisper. Mrs. Reed, grieving and alone, noticed a greenish flicker. On her doormat there lay a heart-shaped ivy leaf. A forgotten joy stirred. She hadn't been out in years, so she put on her coat and walked to the market. In a school, a drab corner sprouted pots of geraniums and herbs. A teacher found a fern by the gate and a painted forest mural on her classroom wall. The deep green made the air feel kinder. The green man never forces change. He's a catalyst, leaving small whispers of hope, gifts of green, and stories of resilient forests. Keep a little green, a quiet, shared secret. One place held a deep, persistent sorrow, a stretch of river constrained by concrete and glass. Sharp angles and sterile glare, steep walls dull and gray. The water moved murky and tired, a wild creature in a cage. He listened, not the cheerful babble of his woodland stream, but a low, mournful sigh. He heard exhaustion, longing for soft earth and reeds swaying in its current, a loneliness at the edges. His leaf and soil heart felt the river's pain. He dipped his mossy hand into the water. A ripple carried empathy. "Walk with me," he whispered like a gentle breeze. A duck waddled over. A water rat emerged from a pipe. A tiny beetle skated toward him. Together they told stories of the beauty of nature, lakes, trees, flowers, and fields. Hand in water, he shared strength, memory of a living world. The river listened and began to stir, found a forgotten flow. New weeds grew in a crack, a tiny victory for the green. The town did not become a garden overnight. Change, like a great tree, grows slowly. It begins with a single seed, the right soil, the right water, and time. The green man remained patient, letting small acts of green take root. As more green appeared, stories returned, faces in bark with vines on old brick walls. A single leaf in a glass case sent people home dreaming of gardens. Mara, a quiet waitress who loved plants and animals, saw the green man one afternoon. Walking down a path, sipping a cup of tea, she sat beside him in companionable silence.
"Why do you walk here?" she asked. "To remind," he said. "To remind people that they belong to the earth, that they are not alone in stone and glass."
Inspired, she taught children to plant seeds, listen to rain, and know the names of trees. The green man had found his voice in the town. The green man's presence was like a gentle rain that nourished the town, but he was not meant to stay forever. He walks where life needs him, where the world has grown too gray. One evening, the path was empty, yet the air felt warm and alive. Later, a child found a small, perfect leaf, shining softly in moonlight, shaped like a face. "The tree man left us a present," she said. Her mother smiled. "He did. It means we are watched over by good things." The town keeps his memory alive in small, beautiful ways, tending plants, watering window boxes, pruning trees, and leaving a bag of seeds on a doorstep. Children pick up litter and plant wildflowers in neglected corners. They tell stories about a kind man of leaves who taught them to listen. Take care of the earth. Keep a little green. The simple phrase moves from person to person, asking them to slow down, to look up from bright screens, to notice the birds, the moss, the sky. The green man may live outside your window in a flower pot, or sleep in the woods of your backyard, waiting for the warm, hopeful light after a long winter, to bring the magical sight of green to the first sprout of spring. Thank you for walking this green path with us. Keep a little green wherever you are, share the seed, tend the small things, and we'll meet again when the leaves return.